Whenever people talk about football shirts, there's always one shirt that stands way above the rest. It is a shirt that is so rare, so sought after, and for good reason as well. It has an incredibly out there design. It was worn for Van Basten's volley, arguably the greatest goal of all time. The shirt in which Ruud Gullit further cemented himself as one of the greatest of all time. A shirt that has always eluded me. Yes everyone, you have read that title right. In this video, I'm going to be attempting to spend the entire month of April tracking down a Holland 88 shirt. One of the most rarest, the most iconic, the most expensive football shirts of all time. I've dedicated my entire month to it. Please happen, please find one. Just before we get into this hunt, this video has a sponsor. Get in! A huge thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives. It's where millions of creatives come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of classes for creative people, and there's all kinds of skill levels on there as well. And these classes can cover topics such as photography, design, graphic design, video, and loads more. I've genuinely been using Skillshare to look at Shopify classes. This is due to the fact that I'm looking to build my own website to sell football shirts on, so I never have to use Depop again. The class that's been really helpful for me in doing this is the Build Your Shopify e-commerce store step by step with zero coding, because it takes you through every step that you need to build your Shopify store. This has been really helpful for me as someone with no experience in web design and also no ability to code. So this has been a massive help for me in starting my own website. Also, the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a completely free trial of Skillshare. So be sure to check out Skillshare in the description, and a huge thanks again to them for sponsoring this video. Let's get on with this hunt. For some quick information, the Holland shirt is one of the most iconic shirts, but the design is actually called the Adidas Ipswich template, in which teams like the USA had one, Germany had one, Dortmund had one, which is insane. Also, FC Porto have their own Adidas Ipswich template shirt. The things I would do for that shirt. I know I say I don't sleep with the shirts, but, you know, would you moan at me? However, the most sought after of all the Adidas Ipswich templates is the most sought after football shirt of all time. No other shirt really comes close. It is that iconic. My budget for this entire month is a maximum of £500. The going rate for this shirt appears to be 700-ish. If I can manage to get it cheaper than 500, I think I'd have done quite well. So we'll see how this goes, but fingers crossed I can find one. The issue with trying to find one is, of course, that it's genuinely impossible to find one. Like, they don't ever appear on the market. How often have you been on classic football shirts and seen a Holland 88 for sale? It just rarely happens. But anyway, I think we should just get straight into this. No nonsense, no messing about, and just get right into hunting for this shirt. I think eBay is the logical place to start. I've been quite vocal, quite positive about eBay on the channel in the past. Like, it is the main place I buy my football shirts from. So let's have a crack on eBay and see how it goes. So as you can see on eBay, there are some Holland 88s listed, just not quite in my £500 budget. To be completely honest, as I've said, eBay is basically my go-to for football shirts. So it not being on there already makes this 1,000 times harder for me. I'm not great with other sites. eBay, I know what I'm getting with eBay, but what do I do now? Okay, so to actually do this, if I'm going to have any hope at all of finding this shirt and buying one, I'm going to have to enlist the help of some experts, because the shirt is so rare, it never gets listed online. No shirt sites are going to have like one of these just laying around. Everyone who has a Holland 88 shirt knows what they're dealing with there. They know it's an incredibly valuable piece. No one is just going to list one for like 20 quid. Like, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. So, expert one is Mr. Gary Bearton from Classic Football Shirts. If any company in the world can help me try and find out where I can get one, find any source of information, tell me how much it's going to cost, it's going to be Classic Football Shirts. I think it's probably the best starting point for this. So let's go and give Gary a call. Hello.
Are we live? Are you live streaming me?
I am. We are live. I'm basically calling. I don't know if you saw the last episode of Football Shirts I purchased in insert month name.
Yeah.
For the end, I say I'm looking for a Holland 88 shirt. And I basically thought, what better company to ask for how likely it is I'll find one within the month than yourselves. Could you basically provide me with like maybe some advice, or whether you think it's actually possible, or how much I'm looking to spend on one as well? I think any tips or info would be massively helpful.
Tips and info on a Holland 88. I mean, first of all, yeah, possibly you've got your work cut out. Just simply for how rare the shirt is. The second thing I would say, that if you do come across it, or people are sort of saying like, yeah, that's a shirt that we have available, there's so many fake versions and like multiple fake versions of that shirt that it can be a bit of a minefield.
Yeah, okay. Well, because I've seen there's some on eBay and they're like 800 quid, and that is just not. No.
Even for us, particularly in the last 3 or 4 years, we're finding that we'll get one of them as a replica once every 6 months, possibly even less than that, once a year. Out of all the football shirts, it is one of 2 or 3 that everybody knows has a special value to it, and a special rarity to it.
Well, do you think my £500 budget gives me any chance of finding one?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
That is reassuring. Okay, so speaking to Gary has actually helped me feel confident in my £500 budget. I think the chances of finding one are still quite slim, but at least he, of all people, thinks, yeah, you probably got a decent chance of finding one. So, next up is my second and, final expert, because he is the guy for Holland 88 shirts. It's a guy called 343 on Instagram. You should have to check him out. Linked in the description. He's got a great collection of shirts. He's been doing it for ages. Like, in terms of Holland 88s, he's kind of the guy. Like, he's got multiple of them. So, I've sent him a few questions over to him on Instagram. He's going to provide us with some answers, and hopefully they help us in our hunt. So, I have 5 questions for 343, which will hopefully help me with this journey I'm on. And they are as follows. Question 1. How many Holland 88 shirts do you own, including home and away? His response was, I have 6 home, 1 away, and 3 goalkeeper of the Holland 88s. 2 of these are the European version, 4 are Japanese, and 2 of the homes are long sleeves. Then I've asked a simple question, which I think a lot of you will be asking. Why is the Holland 88 shirt so rare? Like the Holland 9085, every other Holland shirt is quite obtainable and not overly expensive. Why is the 88 so rare? The fact that the Van Basten volley was scored in it, the fact it was only worn 5 times and they were all at Euro 88, it's Holland's only ever big trophy, and the fact that the Dutch team was so popular in the 70s and this then boiled over to the 80s. And the fact of the matter is, at the time, the template was so out there and it was so shocking at the time, even the players didn't like it, so it always stood out and it's always been considered to be a very iconic shirt. Another thing that I don't think a lot of people realise is that for this era especially, shirts are manufactured all around the world and they all had like different variations about them, and it's the same with a Holland 88 shirt. I knew going into this that some of the shirts are a bit more rare than others because they were made in different countries. I knew, for example, the South American is the easiest to find, but it's also the cheapest because it doesn't look anything like, or not that similar to the one the players wore on the pitch. So I just asked him, how many variations actually are there? The shirt was never commercially available, but was then produced in Europe, South America and Japan under license, but in a limited supply. That's another reason why it's so rare. The European version has a completely different, more solid lion badge. The South American version has a hollow badge and a completely different lion. The Japanese version is his personal favourite, as the KNVB badge is very badge. I meant to say badge. The badge is very similar to the one the players wore on their shirt. The European version is probably the most valuable just because it's more recognisable as a replica in Europe and you rarely see it on sale. The Japanese one seems to have been made in higher numbers, or maybe sold into Europe in higher numbers, as you see it more than the European version. And as I said before, the South American version is probably least valuable because people are put off by the fact the badge looks completely different to the one the players wore on the pitch. So, we're getting somewhere. Then I've combined my fourth and fifth question kind of into one. How often do you see them up for sale? And do you actually think I'll be able to find a Holland 88 in the space of a month? He's replied with, I think you could find a Holland 88 in a month if you're willing to pay, but I think you'll likely get a South American or made in Ireland, and maybe a Japanese, but you'll struggle to get a European version. So now I know my target is ideally a Japanese or a European one. Worst case scenario, we get a South American one. Even the worst case scenario is still like a best case scenario for me. Like, if I get any of them, I'll be buzzing. So, let's get to work. See you in a week. Alright guys, so it's been a week. Look at my face. How do you think this is going so far? Not even a sniff. Not one lead has came forward and helped. Like, it's becoming apparent how hard this actually is to do. Like,
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get in.
I'll see you next week. Right, so we've got somewhere at least. I managed to pick up this light blue template shirt of the Adidas Ipswich template for £25 on Twitter, which I think that's a great deal. You guys will see it on screen right now, but I think the light blue works really well on this template. Like, I think this is genuinely a really beautiful shirt. Obviously, the fact it's a template, it doesn't hold loads of value, but it's definitely worth more than 25 quid. Huge thanks to Kit Vendor on Twitter for selling me it. Like, fair play for the £25 price. It wasn't even like, he didn't reach out to me. I just saw him tweet out he was selling it. I was like, I'll have that please. Also, just a brief update. I really haven't made too much progress this last 7 days. I've been trying to. I've been like relentless on Instagram, on Twitter. Haven't really had any big leads for one. I have a few like potential things, but they're not really paying off at the moment. So I'll let you know as soon as I know something. I'm not going to do a week from now. It's just going to be when something happens, you'll see me again.
3,000 years later.
We have a lead. We have a lead. We have a lead. We have a lead. We actually have a lead. When was the last time I spoke to you guys? Like, I would have said before this, but it doesn't feel like that long ago since I got the template. Like, we have a lead. So, the football shirt guys on Instagram saw my Instagram stories I've been putting up about the fact I want a Holland 88. They've put me into contact with someone who's based in Malaysia who just so happens to be selling a Japanese version of the Holland 88. The guy has an amazing collection of stuff and is based in Myanmar. Have I said that country right? I think. So, the downside is he wants £500 for it, which isn't actually really a downside. People are going to be watching this thinking, I'd pay £500 for it. But it wouldn't be an AwayDays video without trying to get below the market price. Like, I'm aware 500 probably is below the market price, but I want to go cheaper. There's another catch as well. As you'll see on screen, he keeps telling me that the shirt smells really bad. Like, he's adamant that he needs to tell me every time that the shirt smells bad. Like, why is he telling me so often that the shirt smells bad? What does it smell of? Like, every used shirt I buy pretty much stinks. Like, that's the thing. Like, I know a lot of shirt companies say they wash their shirts, but, you know, seeing is believing. Smelling's believing. Jesus Christ, most of them smell like ashes. Basically, why is that a negative? But I've used it as a bargaining chip, and I've said to him, okay, because the shirt stinks, will you do it for £350 all in? That's my final offer I've made to him. £350 all in for the shirt. I'll see you guys in a few days. Hopefully he accepts. Like, I'm aware that seems quite low. Like, what's that? That's 30% below what he wanted for it. If I pull this off for £350, what a guy. Shag yourself. See you in a few days. So, it's been 10 days since I last spoke to you all. You know, you're all seeing this at the same time. I don't know, does it really work if I'm doing like a month timeline? Also, this shirt fits me really nicely. I feel like a princess. Anyway, it's been 10 days since I offered £350 for the best football shirt of all time. Did my offer get accepted? I mean, of course it did. Of course it did. I was trying to make it a bit like, you know, when there's like a place in the sun. You know, a place in the sun when they're sat there like, you've offered 150 grand and they sit there with like a glass of Prosecco and they're like, oh, we didn't realise our offer would be accepted. As if you find out about an offer. Of course they knew whether their offer was accepted or... It's not really the point. I'm getting worked up here. Anyway, the reason you joined me today is because the shirt is due to arrive any minute now. So, I'll see you in a bit. Ooh. I'm pretty sure I just heard the door, so... Oh. It's here. It's here. Let's open it. Sorry to the people that hate it when I waffle, but I never thought I'd be in this position. I never thought I'd genuinely, hand on heart, ever own this shirt. It was always seen as the shirt. I never thought I'd be in a position, whether it be financially, logically, or logistically, to ever own this shirt. And that's me being as transparent as I can be. I really hope it's the real one. If not, I'm still going to upload this video. I can't pretend I got scammed and like not upload it. Like, I'm pretty sure it's real, but if it's not, you'll still be seeing this. Like, this is, for as far as we all know, it's like, it could be real, it could be fake. Or was it like Schrodinger's cat? Like, I like to think it's real, especially for the money I paid. I'm so nervous. Like, I just ridiculously nervous. I shouldn't be nervous as an item of clothing, but to try and contextualize this for anyone who doesn't really get this, this is a PSA 10 Charizard. This is the football shirt equivalent. I've opened the bag. If it smells, I know it's the right one. Oh, it does smell of death. Oh. It looks real. That was a bad smell before I even got into it. Oh, it does smell like cigarettes, like really bad cigarettes. But there it is. It's legit. Something I didn't reveal to you guys earlier. Got 12 on the back. Van Basten. So I know a lot of the Jaspo version of it do. They either have a Van Basten or Hullet on the back, but I have the best shirt of all time. Of course, the universally considered best shirt of all time. And it's, oh, I can't really talk properly. I'll put it in a wash, then we'll come back because it... I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Ellis, did the smell get out? Ellis, does it fit you? Ellis, what's your address so I can rob you? Well, the smell left it and it fits me. We have done it. I can't believe I've got a genuine, original Holland 88. Like, insane. Like, how have we got to this point? Like, I know you might be thinking, oh, Ellis, you spend X amount on shirts all the time, but them numbers are really artificial because you always put it back into the videos. Like, I never thought I'd be here, like, ever. Let's just spend the next 20 seconds just with some videos of the shirt overlaid on the screen. Right, go on. Yes, so we have completed our task for April. I've managed to obtain a Holland 88 shirt. I don't really know where I go from here. I think, I don't know, where can I possibly go from here? Like, what can I even do at this point? Next month's shirt purchase video will be back to normal with a regular football shirts I purchased in insert month name. But this month has been, I think we can all agree, I probably made the right call, considering we got the result that we all wanted. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe and turn that bell notification button on for more football shirt content twice a week, every single week. A huge thanks again to this video's sponsor Skillshare. Be sure to check them out at the top link in the description. Without them, this video wouldn't have been possible. So please be sure to go and show them some love. The more of you that support them, the more likely they'll be able to work with me again in the future. So be sure to check out Skillshare in the description. I've been Ellis and I'll see you very soon for more football shirt content. Ciao ciao, bye.